Hi everyone. So we thought in this new world that we would try and update ourselves and modernise, and one of those things that we're actually really slow to jump on the bandwagon of but have been growing is podcasts. So we thought we'd do a little, I don't know, however long, 20-minute, half an hour podcast, and we might do this weekly depending on how many people watch it, how popular it is, whether we've got literally anything to talk to each other about. But yeah, we'll sort of how it goes, and we really want to encourage you to get involved with the conversation. So we might talk about topics that could be controversial. We might talk about topics that will encourage other people to get involved, and we really want to encourage sort of a conversation online with you. So do get involved, comment back to us, and give us topics that you potentially want us to talk about as well. We'll probably, every episode we'll put in a disclaimer. So the disclaimer is we are not experts. We do not know all the facts. We are very much just giving our opinions. We're very much just trying to have a conversation with you via the online world. If we do say something that sounds like a fact, please check it, because it could be wrong. It could have inaccuracies. And with the rate of how Corona is going and how quickly it's progressing, they could be out of date within 2 days. So I do want to stress that. As I've just alluded to, the first one is probably going to be predominantly around coronavirus, how things have impacted us already, how things are going to impact in the future, our personal views, and we'll go from there really. So the first real thing for us to talk about is probably work life, and how things have changed in our work life. Obviously this is an example, but I'll open up that to the floor, unless you all want to introduce yourselves as well.
So hi everyone, I'm Jamie. Working, I suppose, obviously now we've moved back to working from home. It's quite a challenge really, because obviously I don't really associate home with working. So when it comes to doing work, it's really struggle to sort of get used to getting usually a normal setup at home, because I associate home with having a bit of relaxation time, but still got opportunity to do that as well. So, I think coronavirus has really affected me in terms of like boredness maybe, and not seeing everyone as regularly. So I like going out and doing stuff and seeing people, and obviously it's hard to do that when you're at home as much. So I think it's really affected me in that way really, in the fact in terms of not as interesting, I suppose, as working in the office.
Yeah, Becky, Chloe?
Do you want to go, Chloe?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm Chloe, President of Sports and Engagement. I think for me it's like getting used to speaking to everyone all the time on like this format, because you're inviting everyone into your home basically, and it's getting used to that, and so I've found that a struggle at first, but actually getting used to it, I don't think it's too bad. It's quite nice, I think.
That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about how it's slightly more personable. You are basically inviting people through a camera into your house rather than being in the office and having that divide between work and personal life.
I find also it's quite nice that you don't have to we're not rushing to meetings. You can literally like roll out of bed at like 5:02 and then just hop on at like 9.
Don't have to roll out of bed, just sit in bed.
Literally just sit in bed.
I think for me it's changed quite drastically, because I've got so Phoebe's nursery shut obviously, so I now have a little toddler to contend with, who at the moment has got the broom out and is outside the room. God knows what she's doing. I have no idea. And I'm always a bit worried. Yeah, like causing havoc. I'm always worried if I sit here for an hour and do work, if I go into my living room, what's going to have happened? She's destroyed the
paint hands.
I've had to hide all of her pens, because usually I just like leave her pens and stuff on her table in the living room. I came out yesterday and there's just like drawing up the wall, and I was like, no, we can't be having this. But I've also set her up, so I've got like an office and stuff, and I've set her up next to me to try and make it more, even for her, like you go to school in the morning, we sit down, do some work, and then we go outside and play. So that divide is quite important.
Sorry, I'm assuming eventually she'll get used to that routine, and then eventually it will become habitual maybe.
I mean,
we all know,
I'm hoping so.
I'll hope for the best.
I'm trying to be quite regimented with it, even with myself, because I think it's easy to just fall into habits where you don't actually leave your room, or you don't leave your bed or whatever, and you just kind of do work and stuff. Whereas I'm like, I'll do an hour of work in the office, I'll go outside, cook lunch, I'll come back, do something else, we'll go outside, and because otherwise I think we could stay in all day. I don't want to sit in all day. I want to get out.
And you're in the luxury of living in a beautiful countryside as well, so.
Yes, I mean, I can literally walk for miles and not see anyone, so isolating comes really naturally to me.
I think in terms of work for me, it's changed drastically what I do. So obviously, predominantly my job was around meetings and going to various meetings and whatever. And I'm assuming that will eventually pick back up online. But right now, obviously, things are pretty much coronavirus or nothing. So it's I have a 8:15 meeting every morning. I then have a 9 o'clock meeting every morning. And then other than that, it's pretty much me to do any other work that I can, which is a drastic change.
Yeah, because it's a bit of like one extreme to the other, because you've gone from being like really busy, because obviously I do a couple of sports as well, so you have doing that, have like Saturday and Sunday playing sport to end up doing nothing. You know, it's quite hard to get that change in routine, if anything.
Yeah, I really feel that. Feel that change.
But I was just like, so you just have like each evening has something on, like you have like Tuesday chill on the Tuesday night, and have that now for the while. We're thinking about trying to do some sort of virtual Tuesday chill, but like we haven't got that now. We haven't got into the evenings. So it's really hard for me to get that balance of trying to get exercise as well. That's quite important. Obviously, exercise during this time is quite hard, but it's still important. You can do stuff at home, can't you? Still go out for walks and go for runs and stuff. It's not at a big group. Like if you go individually or a few of you, that's not so bad. But yeah, make sure you keep your distance and stuff. There's still plenty of opportunities to keep fit and exercise, even though you're not actually playing the sports you have been playing.
I'm really looking forward to the online stuff that Christ Church Sport are doing. Like I put it in my calendar, because you can do it literally. I can do it in the garden. I can have Phoebe around with me, and I'm sure there are other students that are in the same position, whether we want to do stuff, but we don't have free time anymore. Because like, fair enough, you can't go and do your sport, but you could still go out on your own in the evenings. Like I can't do that anymore because Phoebe's literally here 24/7.
Yeah. She watched that YouTube thing this morning. What was his name? John Wicks.
Joe Wicks,
Joe Wicks,
PE teacher thing, yeah.
It's on. We do stuff like that anyway, like yoga and things. But I guess it's having that routine again. But like I won't be able to do. I can't go running, for example. Like I love running, and I can't do that anymore.
So you can just jog on the spot in your room. That's fine. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you not build like a little cart or something and just run with it? You know, like they do with buggies. And get the mum to run with the buggies. Can you not build a cart?
Probably could
just nick a trolley.
Can you imagine my Strava numbers though? Honestly, my pace would be horrific.
So what about in the future? So we've sort of spoken about things that have happened in our personal lives that have been slightly affected already, but what about things that we can foresee in the future? So this is probably going to be slightly longer than a couple of weeks. We have no idea how long, but in terms of that sort of foreplanning, how can we see that affecting our personal lives?
I think that's a good question. You don't know
Can
when.
I ask a question first of all? Are you guys? How long do you actually think this is going to last? Like,
just supposed to ask that as well.
Yeah. Do you think it's? I'm thinking in my head 12 weeks. I've got 12 weeks in my head.
See, I think 4. I'm thinking it's just going to last 4 weeks. It's fine, guys. Like everyone's overreacting. But no, the more and more I read stuff, I'm like, this is going to go on for a while. I need to get out of that mindset.
No, I think it's like a good question. Like, I'm not sure how long it's going to be. That's the thing. You don't know when the end's going to be, and I think it's probably going to be at least. Well, but I hope obviously as soon as possible. But I think it'll at least be to the end of May, and then we'll be probably a bit longer as well. But that's just the May. By the end of this May, it won't be extreme. Maybe it'll start going down a little bit. I'm hoping.
I think it depends. Sorry, Jamie. I think there's like 2 questions. Really, it's like, how long is it going to be us working at home and having all these changes, and how long is it before we go back to the office, and then how long is everything normal again?
Like
I don't think everything will be normal again.
No,
I don't. I think this has changed everything quite drastically.
Yeah.
I do think though it's very dependent on how long it will be. Is very dependent on how seriously we as citizens take it, but also obviously how seriously governments take it, how seriously other things take it. Because we could be in a situation where this week we go into whatever lockdown really we don't really know what that means either.
You obviously saw that thing at the weekend about Whitstable, right? There was like, so Rosie Duffield spoke a lot about it and stuff on Twitter. If people keep behaving like that, realistically, the virus is just going to spread more than it already is. And so we're going to have to stay like this for longer. Like people don't realise, and I think that the longer that you don't self-isolate, the longer it's going to go on for, and you're going to have to anyway.
Yeah. I was very much in the camp of, oh, this is just flu, like it's just flu, it's fine. Like, oh, it's just it's the media are overhyping it, it's just flu, whatever.
Yeah.
And now the camp of everyone just stay inside, do their bit, and this will be over, or we know it, or hopefully this will be over sooner or later.
I think if everyone does it properly for a while, if everyone does it properly, as you say, if everyone isolates properly, if everyone does what the government's saying, I think it can be decreased. But obviously, people want to still out go and have fun, which is understandable. But also, they know that we won't be able to have us fun for much longer. If we last for 3 months, then you won't be able to have much fun at all. But if we do it properly for a month, then we might be able to do some stuff that we like.
Is it not as well about maybe reframing what we actually think that means? Because, like you say, oh, go out and have fun, but to be honest, I've never spoken to so many people as I have done since I've been home working. Like, I video chat everybody regularly, like more than in the office, right? How often do we talk to each other generally in the office? Maybe, we'll see 4 or 5 people a day. We're talking to everyone all the time, every single day. Like, it's more social than I've ever been.
There are definitely we can learn from this, like going forward as well. Things that we've already incorporated. The fact that Facebook group has 800 people in 3 days. The fact that
that's amazing.
we haven't even been working home from a week, and we've already gone, right, we need to do podcasts, right, Becky's holding a tea party, right, blah blah blah, whatever. So in terms of the lessons we can learn from this, they're already within, how many days have we been working from home? This is the 4th one. So this is the 4th. We've already adapted so well and just gone straight back onto online. So yeah, it's not always doom and gloom. There's definitely things we can take positives from this.
Yeah,
I think Becky makes a good point in the fact that it gives us a chance to meet regularly now. I think in the office it's quite hard because everyone's going to meetings or doing their own things, and then now it gives us the opportunity to meet more. Like, how often do we have those? We have union team meetings every day, pretty much, don't we?
Yeah.
We have never had that very often, and I never see. And I was speaking to Lisa from Student Support earlier, and she was saying that actually the team meet more regularly now. They're actually meeting more. They're actually knowing a bit more about each other more than they used to, which is obviously. Which is weird, but it's good.
Yeah, it's nice. I think in like taking it wider, right, out of the union and stuff like that, I think that this has kind of shown us actually that we are so adaptable. Like, the difference between human animals and other types of animals is the fact that we can adapt, and that's why we are where we are. And I think that this is just one of those things that, like, like the apocalyptic scenarios where everyone goes, oh my God, what if we had to live underground forever? What if we had to live virtually? Well, we could do that because the internet can hold it, and we can do all of these things. Like, we have all the technology, we just didn't use it properly, I guess.
Yeah, that's the key bit. We haven't been using it to its full potential at all. Like, we've been plotting in and out of doing media stuff and in and out of doing whatever, because, as Jamie said, we've had meetings and we've had other priorities and whatever. Now that they're completely, well, not completely, but now that they're more or less on hold, gives us an opportunity to go, right, we're in this new media world, basically.
Yeah, love it. But it also weirdly has also sent people the other way at the same time. So, like, I was talking earlier on about with you guys about like making a vegetable pot and stuff like that. Like, for me, that's because I'm a bit of a catastrophizer, and I'm like, what if we're stuck in this for 3 months and I run out of food? I'm going to grow my own. But I've seen so many more people now going out for walks and going to woodlands and stuff like that, and they're really appreciating it. So it's almost the case that they didn't know what they had until they didn't have it and couldn't have it, and now people are really like pushing to go outside, which I think hopefully people then keep hold of that after we can then stop being virtual.
Yeah, Chloe, you went to Stolly, didn't you, on the weekend?
Yeah, I went to Stod Marsh to play football. There was a few people up there actually. Like, all the football pitches were being used by like 2 or 3 people. And then, like, I hate walking, but yesterday I went, like, I really hate it. I don't know what it is. I just don't like walking. And I walked around town yesterday, and actually it was really nice. But I was like, I don't like it, but that was nice. So I'll probably do it more often. But yeah, no, Stod Marsh is good. Pardon?
Geocaching. Does everyone know what that is?
Oh, yeah, I saw you did that, Phil. That looks so cool.
So it's like an app that you get, and then you can basically go around these woodland walks or wherever really and find these little caching things. Some of them are big, some of them have things in, and then you write your name down on the piece of paper to say you found it, and you mark it on the app. And basically, I'm similar to you, Chloe, in the fact that I don't really just want to go for a walk. Like, they don't point to me, but if I have a purpose, then you sort of, the walk becomes secondary almost.
Yeah,
it's like orienteering, where you have to go around and find things, like
stuff. Less compass and more Yeah.
Yeah.
They do
Okay,
one
yeah.
for kids as
Some of them
well,
are really-
which is like they do one about rocks, where you can go around and find rocks, and the kids like decorate these rocks and put them back. So the kids kind of like creative, get involved and stuff. I've done some with Phoebe before. And they've got books as well. They do like they leave books in plastic bags with like notes on and stuff. Then you have to go and find the books, and then you read the book, you pass it on, you put it back somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's potential
Cool.
for community spirit to hopefully increase over this as well.
Yeah.
I know that you're in quite a tight-knit community, Becky, aren't you?
Yeah, which is weird actually. Can I talk about that a little bit, because it's a bit of a weird one. So I live next to they're called the Bruderhof community, but they're basically like Amish people, very like self-enclosed, self-sufficient, but very community orientated. Well, they've now shut their doors because they live in such close quarters. If one person got ill, it would run rife, and they've got such a high percentage of older people there, so it would devastate them. So I went up there the other day because my friend's pregnant, and I just went to drop her some stuff off in the flat, and yeah, these people were like, yeah, you can't come in anymore, blah blah blah, but they continue to send me food. It's so cute. Like, they'll send someone down to drop off like fresh bread and fresh fruit and stuff on the door, because they're absolutely lovely. They're what keeping this community going, to be honest. So I know that if we were in a real dire situation, they'd always help.
Yeah. And it's important to have those support networks. It doesn't necessarily have to be your neighbours, but even support networks online like this, or support networks physically, then it's important, especially if you're stuck indoors.
Or our new community page.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
or
But
any.
from that, though, to be fair, like, people can still video chat with us. You know, like we have like drop-ins when we're in the office.
Yeah.
I've spoken to loads of students and things, one-to-one, or like there's 3 of us in a group chat and stuff like that, where we've just video chatted and chatted about nonsense, radical pedagogies and things like that.
Sounds like the sort of thing you was discuss. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does we got sidetracked, which is perfect. Is the point of this, but how do we see it impacting our lives personally, sort of going forward? Let's give if this is still around in 3 months, how do we see it impacting our lives?
Well, I think, like, for me, I'm looking for a job next, and the thing is, the stuff that I want to go into is like sports social media, and where there's no sport happening, I'm a bit stuck on. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't really looked recently, but I won't be surprised if there is no jobs out there for that, because there's no sport going on, so they don't need a social media content creator. So I'm kind of hoping it doesn't go on for that long.
No, I'm with Chloe, the same thing. Yeah, because obviously in 3 months' time, I'm hoping to more or less got a job by that point for starting in September. So it's going to be hard to look around now, because you can't really go and visit places. Like, sometimes you go and visit. Don't want to work in schools, so you have to look at schools, and you can't really do that very easily if you can't. Obviously not open, are they? Also, it moves like virtual interviews. There's a lot of places been doing virtual interviews, and I think I prefer to speak to someone in person rather than virtually.
Yeah.
I suppose you have to, I suppose. But those sort of things, obviously, getting help. I still can obviously get help with those people out there who are still looking for jobs for next year. And you're looking at your CVs. I know the enterprise team is still available to look at your CVs, aren't they? Look through. So not just for us, but just in general, if anyone's still worried about having support for that area as well. But I'm hoping, obviously, in 3 months' time, I'm hoping. Side note, the cricket season started, obviously, hopefully, on side note. But also, by them, I'm hopeful anyway, to start by then. But yeah, I'm hoping really got a job set, really, but obviously it's going to be quite hard, like Chloe said.
Yeah, mine's slightly different. I was obviously hoping to go travelling around Southeast Asia. Obviously not going to be booking anything now, sort of just, it's a wait and see game, really. And for the 3 of us in particular, we have to worry about, well, if this goes all the way till June, are we going to have to pack up and leave Canterbury because our housing contracts run out and whatever? But yeah, it's just a bit confusing, a bit up in the air. No one really knows.
I'm probably the most like secure one out of the lot of us then, really, because my job ain't going to change much. I'll just stay at home. What I am a bit concerned about is, obviously, you guys, if this goes on until like the end of June, beginning of July, right? You guys are going to go. This may be, I may have seen you all physically for the last time before you leave the job, and then the new Sabb start, and that's the point, isn't it? So all the conferences have obviously been cancelled over the summer, so none of the new Sabbs will have like proper training, NUS stuff,
Yeah.
or go to the Bucks conference, NASPA conference. None of that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Networking's massive as well. Get to know other Sabbs and all
Yeah,
that.
huge. And it's such a good start to the year, because obviously, like, what else do we do in the summer? We go to conferences, we network, we get ready for the following year. Well, these guys, bless them, are going to come in, and it's going to be, right, well, actually, you're not coming because you're staying at home.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, which is so odd.
Because how are Bucks and people like that going to adapt, and how are they going to change their things? Because those things will.
Well, I know that from conversations around the NUS one, so the NUS has gone online. So we have a completely online conference, which God knows how that's going to work. But then we're using it for the NASPA conference as well. So we'll use the same structure. So everything will be online. You'll submit your motions. You'll have to send in a video to support a motion or to like go against a motion and like that. But yeah, it's going to be very odd. Very odd. Yeah, weird. I love the networking. The networking stuff's the best part.
Yeah.
Like, it's where you learn the most.
Chloe.
Pardon?
That was what the networking is what you liked about Bucks as well.
Yeah, Bucks conference is really good, but the best part is the networking. I don't know if Bucks, they'll just go online and they'll just do their normal sessions, and then you join the session if you want to, and then if not, like, I suppose you can network that way. Like this, if there was a session going on, you can still speak to other Sabbs, but it just won't be the same in person.
No, I think it still is important to do the sessions, still do the conferences, but maybe virtually network. So you can still network, as you say, and learn the content for your new year, obviously going into the new year.
We just rock up with a glass of gin on a camera then, because that's pretty much networking at conferences.
Yeah.
Gin?
Absolutely.
I've never drank gin at conference.
I didn't drink much at all at conferences, to be honest.
Such a lie.
Right, I've got a little bit of a story which you two already know about a national conference last. I shared a room with Jamie, and Jamie, for those who don't know, snores like a fucking stone through a lawnmower, right? And it's even worse when he's had a drink. So he comes in through the door, I'm trying to sleep. He's then really apologetic about waking me up, which he didn't because I was already awake, but he didn't realise. He then goes into the bathroom, does whatever, comes back out, goes to sleep. He's like, right, I'll try and be quiet. I'll try and let you go to sleep. Very considerate. So it took me all of 30 seconds to try and sleep before I heard right in my ear. Couldn't sleep for the rest of it.
Helps with the airflow, you see. Helps the airflow.
Oh,
So
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Help you breathing.
Yeah.
Bless you. Bless you, Joe. I don't know how you do it though, Joe, because you literally are always there at 9 o'clock. Like, no matter what you've done, you could be out till 7 a.m. the night before and you will still be there. Hello, baby.
Oh, I'm dedicated, you see. Dedicated.
Dedicated to well-being, just not his own.
Yeah.
What have you been playing with? Phoebe, I can smell perfume. What have you been doing?
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Go on.
This isn't...
We're going to have to how we do our handovers as well.
Yeah.
If we can't physically be face-to-face with the next person that's taking our role, how do we do a handover that's completely virtual? Well, yeah.
Well, you can obviously send stuff to someone to like read over, but you can't obviously. You can still do virtual meetings, I suppose, but it's not as good because you want to meet stakeholders, don't you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You want to meet, so it's going to be quite hard.
To be honest, though, that's not unprecedented. Like, there've been many years where people haven't really had handovers for whatever reason, and you just
shooting shots, right? Okay.
Hopefully, he doesn't watch this.
You are right. Like, handover's not crucial. It just does give you you just leap the first hurdle with somebody else rather than leaping it by yourself.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the thing is, staff are there for continuity anyway. Like, you've got that staff support, and now we've got more staff than ever. I think it'll be quite helpful. It'll be a different year this year. Well, very different year if this carries on, but.
Yeah, of course. I think it was going to be different anyway because you've got 3 new personalities coming in. It's always different with the new personalities. You've got 4 people in different roles as well. So it was always going to be different. But you're right, with whatever Corona means, it's going to be very different potentially.
Also exciting though. I don't know about you guys, but like, I feel less doom and gloom now and more kind of, this is a real opportunity for us to all do something different.
Yeah, because a week ago you were very doom and gloom.
I mean, my whole world had changed. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mum now and a full-time worker, and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But last week you were like, oh, this is it. this is it. It's completely changed. The rest of our lives completely changed. And I was like, right, okay.
I still believe that. I do still believe that, but I just feel a bit more positive. Like maybe it's changed in positive ways. So you know me, I'm all very hippy dippy, right? And I'm always kind of like, let's go outside, put our feet, bare feet on the ground ourselves, it'll be grand. And now I'm kind of like, people are catching up with me on my wavelength. Oh, I think it's going to be in the front.
Fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's
it feels
what
like
people are almost going backwards now and are planting things and are going on walks or whatever. So similar.
Yeah. No, exactly. Which is really nice. I think if we can keep that going, like I want to do more kind of like cooking stuff, like getting back to basics and actually cooking food from scratch and being outside and exercising and things like that, because they're the things that are important and keep us healthy.
Talk about cooking. I've actually cooked and made lunches more than I have done now. I had the rest of the last year. Usually, about the office, obviously buying lunch, going to lounge, going to town to get lunch, and actually it's actually saved me money. If anything, saving a lot of money now.
And the environment and your waistline.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, and my carbon footprint. Yeah. Make your own lunches now. So
should we ask
make lunch.
Phoebe what she thinks about everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know.
What do you think about mummy working from home and all of these guys working from their house? Well, how do you think it's changed your life? You're not going nursery anymore, are you?
No.
Yeah, tell them what that means. What does it mean to not go to nursery anymore? You are, aren't you? When are you going to big school? In June? No, not in June. In September. So yeah, that kind of means for us that she might not actually ever be going back to nursery.
Wow.
Is that sad?
Oh yeah.
Does that make you happy or sad?
Happy.
Happy.
You miss your friends though, Phoebe?
Yeah, but all of her friends are going to big school as well, and she's going to a very different school, so she would have not seen them anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right, you make new friends at school.
Yeah, you're excited about meeting new friends, aren't you? Yeah. What's your most exciting thing about going to big girls' school? What are you most looking forward to?
The big school.
The big school. But what about the big school?
Yeah.
Yeah, using your new pens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, on wall? On mummy's wall?
No.
No, we don't do that, do we, Phoebes? No.
I just don't know where we are.
No, I'm aware. I told these guys about that. Thanks, Phoebes.
So, I don't know how long we've been recording, but
It actually said hosts updated. We said we've got unlimited minutes now. So actually,
that's how excited zero unlimited minutes.
You know the question of like, how has it changed your life?
The only thing left on my notes that we are left to talk about really is just sort of views on Corona happening in the world. Really, we sort of discussed how it would affect us, and we've discussed how it's potentially going to change things or make things different for us. But we haven't really spoken about general views on Corona, really, and that's really all that's left on my list, unless anybody else wants to add anything, really.
Well, for me, there's so much stuff out in the media about coronavirus on the different websites, different people's views. You see loads of tweets, don't you? You see loads of different information about virus. And as you said earlier, Phil, it changes every 2 days, pretty much, the advice. It's really clear about that you go to the right places, like you get the proper advice, not just like listen to some tweets that might say don't do this and it might not be true. So important you read like the NHS, the World Health Organization, the government. They're probably the main websites to look at for advice in terms of like symptoms and stuff like that. But really careful, just be careful of the advice. That there's too much advice out there. There's loads of stuff out there. Just be careful of everything. Make sure it is actually right, and don't just do stuff that's not true. Just a bit of points, really.
Yeah.
And be careful about social media, because social media is dangerous at the moment. Everyone posts everything as if it's a fact, a bit like us now, but everything's as fact, and not everything is fact. There'll be lots of stuff going around that just is not true. So be careful. Yeah.
I guess the last thing to say really is that although we're not around, we are still here. Like if you want to chat to us, if you want to drop in, you might have this to contend with, but we are still here. We will talk to you, and we're doing stuff throughout the week, well, the next however long we're doing this for.
Yeah. And hopefully us moving online will just get stronger and better, because obviously we're still very new at it at the moment. It'll become more seamless, and we'll know sort of a bit more how to do it practically. And how to engage better as well, because that's what we want. We want conversations, we want engagement, we want things like that.
Yeah, we'll get used to it, won't we? Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody, hopefully everybody watching this will eventually get used to it as well. It's just very early on at the moment for whatever this is, and it will get used to it. Like we said, humans and us are adaptable, so we'll be fine. As long as we listen to the advice and take in the factual advice, like Jamie said, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And careful of your social isolation.
Yeah, take care of yours and other people's mental health. Take care of yours and other people's physical health where you can. Look out for each other. Be neighbourly. Create a community, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Oh,
Positive messages.
yeah, but like you said, Becky, the important one is we are still here. If you want, and if you don't want to, that's fine. But just know that we are here.
Yeah,
I guess the overarching message.
And join our community Facebook page.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if they've got any tips, right, or like things they want to talk about next time, maybe just drop it in the comments, and then we can do that either later in the week or next week.
Yeah,
yeah. Post questions.
Sorry, Jamie.
I was just saying, post your questions, and we'll see what we do. Try and answer them as much as we can next week.
And we'll hopefully be doing as many as demand really dictates, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Awesome.
brilliant. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Over and out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.